In a previous training, I discussed the Home and Account Activity tabs. Today, we're going to take a deeper look at quoting, searching, and the Products tab. So with that, we'll go ahead and get logged in. Again, your username is always going to be your corporate email address. Your password is created by you for you. If you ever have password issues, don't forget the Forgot Password button down here. Upon entry to the store, we're going to land at the home site. We've already talked about those in previous training. So today, I'm going to go to the Products tab. This is going to give us some familiar categories, if you will. You see systems, networking, software, memory, audio, several familiar topics over there. There's also some not so familiar topics, small appliances, vacuum cleaners, food processors, coffee makers. Full disclosure, I've not done a whole lot of research on what's available within the small appliances, but if you've got some time on your hands, I encourage you to check it out. I'm going to start off with something that we all have some experience with here, which is a notebook. So if I come up to the Systems category and select Notebooks, I'm going to get a view of all active notebook SKUs in the store site, which is going to be a boatload of them. There's 5,800 plus units sitting there waiting for me. So for this particular search, it's going to be beneficial to me to use the In Stock Only button. This isn't always helpful. Not all items have stock associated with them. So you have to be careful when you use that. When in doubt, reach out to your account manager. For this particular exercise, In Stock Only makes sense. We'll pretend that we need a quick turnaround on this particular laptop request. The other thing you notice quickly is on the right, this Narrow Your Results box. You can do keyword searches over here. Notice that there's a list of manufacturers. We've got HP, Lenovo, Panasonic all represented. For this illustration, we're going to go with where the meat is. I'm going to select the Hewlett Packard, and we'll quickly narrow that 5,800 plus results down to 304. But we've still got some work to do, so we have to get an idea of what we're looking for here. Again, I'm going to leverage this Narrow Your Results box on the right. In my mind, this thing needs to be a desktop replacement. A desktop replacement is going to be 15 inches or better. If I want to see only 15-inch displays, I can change this to equal to, or I could leave it at greater than or equal to, is what I'm going to do for today's explanation. So 15.6 inches. I'm also going to further narrow this thing down by the amount of RAM that I believe the system should have. In this case, I think I'm going to go with at least 8 gigabytes. If I get some results that have 12, I'm fine with that. So again, greater than or equal to is just fine. Note the system keeps track of all your search criteria right here. If I wanted to X this out and change to 12 gigabytes, I certainly could. Actually, I did just X that out. Not necessarily intentionally, but we'll stick with 8. Then there's going to be times when I want to further narrow those results, but I'm running out of options over here. So I know from my knowledge of portable processors that if I'm looking for a workhorse, a desktop replacement, I'm going to want at least an i7 processor. So I can type in i7 and search based on that criteria. Now all my results are going to have reference to i7. And in this case, they all happen to be i7 in reference to the processor, which is good for me. So be careful about that when you search. Just do keyword searches. Maybe the model number has an i7 in it. I would get a hit on that. Just be aware. It's also a good time to see we've got a promotional bulb showing up here. This is a promo light bulb. Right here it says this thing expires on April 30th of 2015, which is a pretty healthy promo. It's going for quite some time. $32 off. Keep those in mind. You may find one that ends at the end of the month. Heaven forbid you sell one on the 1st of the month that expired on the 31st of the month. So keep aware of what those promotional bulbs are all about. Price is going to be important to my customer. So one of the other things I can do is type or select sell price here, and I'm instantly going to sort from lowest to highest. So as you can see, I've got an HP Envy TouchSmart unit here that's starting at $664, and then I work my way up from there. If I want to reverse that trend, simply click sell price again, and now I'll be going from highest to lowest. So we've got ourselves down to 29 units. I realize that a $1,900 laptop is probably going to be a little too rich for my customer's blood. I'm going to check out, see what's going on tab 2. And this $1,500 to $1,300 is much more my speed, much more what we're going to looking for. But what's the difference between those units? That's what I need to find out. So we can simply come over here and select each of these units and compare them. You can see I can compare up to 4 units at any given time. We're only going to do 2 for this exercise. Execute that by clicking on the Go button. And this page will call out the differences in red, which is going to be helpful. We see the product description is different. The description of the memory and the battery is different, although they look very similar. 8 gig, 3-cell batteries. This is a pretty big difference here. We've got 180 gig solid state drive versus a 500 gig spindle drive. So that would probably explain the difference for me here. So with that, I'm going to let my customer make the decision, and we're going to go ahead and add both of these items to the cart. So by selecting each item and adding those checked items to the cart, I'm now going to migrate away from the products page and go to the View Cart page. Immediately upon entering the View Cart page, I'm going to want to name this thing with something meaningful. So maybe it's a project name, maybe it's a customer name, something meaningful that you can search by. I can search by ABC company in the future, and I can see these laptops. So now that I've got it named, there's quite a few different things I can do from here. I can go down to the actions, and I could simply check out. If I wanted to check out and order these, I can do that right here. I could save this cart for later, which is probably what's going to happen because I haven't sold anything yet. Empty it. I could email this. I can print it. A lot of options down here. Play around with these. They're not too hard to figure out. I could also drill down a little bit further into that laptop. If I select the description and drill in, I can see that there are 114 of these units available. I can also see that the list price is coming in at $16.14, so those are good things to know for me as a salesperson. I also have the ability to email these specs. These are just generic specs. I could print them if I chose to. If I want to get more specific with my specifications, I can do that here as well. Again, I can email or print these at any time should I choose to. So now that you've seen that, we'll just head back to the cart. And since I don't know which one my client wants, I'm probably going to email this to him, and then I'm just going to save that cart for later. Note I've now moved over to the Account Activity tab. I was in the View Cart tab, started off in the Products tab, so I'm covering some ground up here. And if I choose to, I can start another quote by simply typing something in the search bar up here. I could go back to the Products page and search for an item here as well. I can search from anywhere. SMX 750 is auto-populating, so why don't we just do a quick search for that. That's actually a part number, and I know that to be a part number, so I know I'm going to get fairly good results on this particular search. Although I was expecting an APC unit, you'll see that TripLight also populated SMX 750. So in this particular one, I'm going to go ahead and add that to my cart. And I'll migrate right back to the View Cart selection. So now I've created a new cart. Once again, I want to be specific about the name of this so I can find it again. So now we're going to go ABC Company. Worked well the last time. ABC Company APC 750. So now I'll know what that is. Note there are two search windows. There's a quick add product line down here where if you have the manufacturer part number, you can add it right here and add it to the quote. If you want to search based on description, this is going to be the best place for you. If you want to use this one every time, this will work for part numbers as well, so you're more than able to do that. Just to give you maybe I know the model number of an item, 2620 PoE switch. I know that's an HP switch that I've used in the past. If I search down here, no dice, no products. If I take that same explanation, 2620 PoE, and search in the top box, now I'm going to get a little bit closer to my desired product. I still have some work to do. I've got a few results here. I can see that I got a 2620 48 port PoE plus, a 2620 24 port PoE plus with no stock. So from time to time you're going to see duplicate entries. I would not select the item that's not in stock in this case. Also don't know exactly what the difference is between that one, so we're going to go with HP 2620 48 port. And now I've added that to my cart. Again, all the same rules apply. If I want to drill further down into this particular item, see what availability is, I can see that here. I can also see what list price is, product descriptions. If I want to email them, I can do that from here as well. The tool is helpful, but it's not omniscient. If you ever run into trouble, you can't find the right part, or you don't know if it's the right part, absolutely reach out to your EarthBend account manager, and they can help you find the exact product that you're looking for. That wraps up our quoting and searching tutorial. Please log in, poke around. Maybe you'll find a question or three. Thank you.